You and well played.
Thank you.
See you next time on The Chase Australia.
Tonight in 7 News, the sad end to the search for a missing teenage boy. A heartbreaking discovery in the Yarra Ranges after a day of frustration as police sent volunteer searchers away. Also, Daniel Andrews promising restriction relief at last. Stage 4 to start winding back within days. Hotel quarantine security companies facing a class action legal fight over the second wave. The $3 billion plan to supercharge home internet speeds. And sporting legends joining forces in a new Buy Australian, Buy Online campaign.
Live from Melbourne, 7 News with Peter Mitchell starts now.
Good evening. There's sad news tonight from the search for a schoolboy missing in the Yarra Ranges. Cameron Bowe is in Warburton this evening, and Cameron, police made the heartbreaking discovery.
Mitch, this search effort came to a horrible end late this afternoon. The body of William Wall was found at Yarra Junction, not far from his home. His death is not being treated as suspicious, but it has floored the search teams and those who wanted to help but couldn't. Frustrated locals desperate to help find a missing boy.
Exactly. And he's just politely telling us to go home, and I'm going to tell his family.
But turned away by police and stopped from joining the search.
They're looking already and they don't want us out there getting in the way and tripping over.
We're mums. So if it was our kids, we'd like people to be out there for our kids too.
I thought if that was my kid out there, I would want everyone with their boots on the ground just having a look.
14-year-old William Wall left his home in the Yarra Ranges just before 7 yesterday morning to go for a jog. Earlier today, William's father Shane was shocked at how many people wanted to help find his son.
Thank the police, the SAS, his brother's mates.
Take a minute.
They've all been out all night.
His older brother Harrison and mates joined the search on dirt bikes, but claimed police didn't want them involved because of COVID restrictions.
We've been told by all the police saying that not allowed to help because it's past the 5k radius, so we're just obviously going to put a bit more of a delay on finding him.
I'd rather go outside 5k's and find him than stick to 5k's and let him stay out another night.
As volunteers headed to the search area last night, a police Facebook post said, in line with coronavirus restrictions, we don't require assistance. But today said,
This is not to do with COVID. We're very comfortable with the resourcing that we do have in place at the moment.
More than 100 police, SES and specialist bush volunteers were involved in the search.
Our members are facing wet, slippery surface, steep inclines.
Later today came the news no one wanted to hear. William Wall's body had been found. A family's day of hope turns to a night of grief. Cameron Bowe, 7 News.
We've been waiting for 84 days, but Melbourne is finally set for some lockdown relief. It comes as Victoria's new cases continue to fall faster than expected. The Premier promises to ease extra restrictions from Sunday night.
A landmark day for Victoria and the Premier's controversial roadmap.
This is a day when all Victorians can see that this strategy is working. Because of your hard work, because of all the things you're doing and giving up, these numbers are coming down.
We had 15 new cases today. 10 are linked to outbreaks, including 4 in aged care. But no more in the Casey cluster, and testing numbers actually rose to more than 15,000. And our low number is against the weekly trend.
We normally do see a bit of an increase in numbers on Wednesdays, so yes, I'm encouraged by that.
5 more Victorians have died, taking our death toll to 771. But our rolling average is now below 30, meaning we've smashed the target for restrictions to be eased on Sunday, and we're on track to also hit the next big target next month. The Premier's original roadmap laid out only very minor changes for Melbourne this Sunday. So will these better than expected numbers mean he's looking at going further than first planned?
Yes, I am, but I'm not in a position to give you a full list of the things we're looking at. We're having a look at those and they become a really detailed and fine judgment about what the public health risk, what the virus transmission risk is.
One public health expert thinks he should open up schools and scrap the curfew.
The curfew doesn't add anything
to protecting us from the virus.
But the Premier's already unveiled some good news. From now on, those living in Melbourne but working in regional Victoria can go to work if they can't do it from home. And another important sign the worst is over, aged care residents going home. One of the worst hit centres, St Basil's in Fawkner, had 216 cases and 44 residents die. All residents were moved to hospital at the peak of the crisis, but now the outbreak is officially over and residents are moving back in. But the threat in the community isn't over. Today, 3 new high-risk locations have been identified by health officials, including a medical and dental clinic at Melton and 2 Woolworths supermarkets at Melton's Coburn Shopping Centre and at Niddrie in the Central Shopping Centre. And a warning that a so-called super spreader could undo much of our hard work.
One case that happens to be in the wrong place before they become symptomatic or, in a situation where they can spread to a lot of people, and it can be away very quickly.
It means while the easing of some rules might be fast-tracked, they're unlikely to be huge changes. And pressure is now building on the government over its so-called omnibus bill, which covers all of the special laws it needs during the pandemic. It wants more authorised officers and to give them the powers to detain anyone they think is likely to breach isolation rules. Now, senior lawyers have said they're excessive and they're open to abuse, and some upper house MPs have already said they won't be supporting the bill. The Premier says the powers would be rarely used, but he's hinted he is willing to compromise. Tense negotiations looming here, Mitch.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Laurel Irving at State Parliament. Security companies are facing a class action legal fight over their role in the hotel quarantine fiasco and the impact of the second wave. A grieving son is leading the fight, chasing action over the death of his dad.
The last time Dragan Markovic saw his dad alive was through this window at Brunswick Hospital. It's from here he also watched the 83-year-old later die.
It was terrible.
Nenad, a great-grandfather of 2, died from coronavirus. Now his family is among the first to join a new class action against 2 security companies in hotel quarantine.
How unprofessional they are in their field. Leaving the actual people, the travellers, going out and getting food and sleeping on a job. I mean, that's totally out of, I don't know what to say.
The class action lawyers claim MSS Security and Unified Security Services should be held responsible for staff spreading the virus from returned travellers at the Ridges and Stamford Plaza hotels.
The class action could see a total claim in the hundreds of millions of dollars, potentially.
The response from Unified Security: we will vigorously defend this matter. MSS Security told 7 News it's still waiting for legal papers to be served. The class action represents the families of anybody who died from coronavirus in Melbourne's second wave. Lawyers will also seek compensation for those who had the virus and survived, but with lasting physical effects.
I just would like to hold him responsible for my father's death.
Blake Johnson, 7 News.
And 2 more senior government ministers have faced questions at the hotel quarantine inquiry in another day of frustration. Both struggled to provide answers to key questions on why private security firms were used to guard returned travellers.
The conga line of confusion continues.
Look, I don't recall specifically how I became aware of that.
Jobs Minister Martin Pakula can't remember how he found out his own government decided to use private security guards. Police Minister Lisa Neville was next to say she had nothing to do with it.
Your best recollection is that the topic of private security was first raised by Commissioner Crisp.
That's my best recollection, yes.
She was quizzed about a text she sent to Commissioner Crisp questioning an offer to instead use troops. Not sure what they do in hotels given no one leaves.
I was still slightly cranky about the fact that I had discovered the whole thing via the Herald Sun article just after midnight.
Ms Neville said she wasn't worried private security guards were tasked to protect the city from a pandemic because they'd previously been used at the AFL Grand Final.
So it didn't jump out at me as being a major issue.
The opposition says the inquiry has become a carnival of amnesia.
If amnesia was COVID, the Labor government would be its own little hotspot.
The government faces another legal headache. This time it's in relation to the documents and the data they used to impose that controversial curfew. Now, a court challenge wants those documents made public, but late this afternoon the government applied to keep them secret. Their application will be heard on Monday, Mitch.
Chanel Vella, thank you. Donald Trump is demanding the United Nations hold China accountable for unleashing coronavirus on the world. The president unleashed in a blistering speech as America reached a grim new record.
From the White House,
it is my profound honour to address the United Nations General Assembly.
The US president underscoring one stark divide.
As we pursue this bright future, we must hold accountable the nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China.
Donald Trump laying blame squarely on Beijing for a pandemic that's traumatised the world.
The United Nations must hold China accountable for their actions.
Almost anticipating the attack, China's Xi Jinping telling the UN, we have no intention to fight either a Cold War or a hot one with any country. President Trump's made no secret of his disdain for the UN. He kept today's address surprisingly short and sharp, just 6 minutes long and 6 weeks out from an election, staring down a horrific COVID death toll. On the grounds of the Washington Monument today, 20,000 flags representing 200,000 lives lost to coronavirus.
And these flags are indicative not only of the lives lost, but of the families left behind.
The president determined to keep his show on the road tonight in battleground Pennsylvania, with Beijing bashing now an election mainstay.
Corona sounds like a place in Italy, a beautiful place. It's Corona. No, it's the China virus. They don't want to say it. You know, the radical left, they don't want to say it.
In the United States, Ashley Melina, 7 News.
To breaking news now, and a former AFL star has been charged with sexual assault. Jodie Lee is covering developments, and Jodie, this relates to an alleged in
July. With after in next month. Menzel played 80 AFL games, mostly with the Cats, but his career was plagued by injury. He had 4 knee reconstructions. So just repeating, former Geelong and Swan star Daniel Menzel charged with sexual assault. Mitch?
Jodie Lee, thank you. Australians are being promised faster internet with free installation in a multi-billion-dollar upgrade to the national broadband network. But Labor has slammed the government's announcement as the biggest policy backflip in a generation.
A fibre roll-out promising broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit per second.
That's blazing fast broadband.
Labor says is a major rollback.
It's the most extraordinary, wasteful, humiliating backflip in public policy in a generation.
7 years after ditching Labor's fibre to the home plan as a wasteful white elephant, the government announces its own.
Labor's approach was build fibre to everybody straight away. A scandalous waste of money.
His $3.5 billion plan will be demand-driven, rolling fibre down most streets by 2023, and if customers want it connected to the home, they'll pay through dearer NBN plans of up to $150 a month. Some experts warning the higher price could broaden the so-called digital divide.
For many people, they won't be able to afford to do that.
In the 7 years since Tony Abbott dumped Kevin Rudd's NBN, Australia's fallen from 30th to 61st in international broadband speeds, below Bulgaria and the Ukraine.
This is a stunning policy backflip.
And tomorrow, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg will reveal what he's calling the biggest insolvency reforms in 30 years to help prevent small business being forced to the wall by the COVID crisis. Mark Riley, 7 News.
The tragedy off Tasmania's remote west coast has deepened, with close to 400 whales now confirmed dead in one of our worst mass beachings. Rescuers are continuing the desperate attempts to save the few remaining survivors.
As rescuers entered the second day of a desperate operation, they were faced with an even bigger tragedy. 10 kilometres away from the original beaching, another 200 whales found on sandbars. Most were dead.
We're pretty confident that it was all part of the same event. So those animals are perhaps animals that were dead quite early on in the piece, have been moving around the harbour with currents and winds.
It's now believed to be the biggest whale stranding in the nation's history. This afternoon, experts confirming 380 whales have now died on Tasmania's west coast.
Increasingly, our focus is shifting to what to do with retrieval and disposal of the carcasses in Macquarie Harbour.
50 whales have so far been freed as rescuers continue to try to save the remaining 30, one by one using special slings, attaching them to the side of the vessel and releasing them into deeper water. But time isn't on their side.
As time goes on, they do become more fatigued, and so their chance of survival reduces. But we'll continue working for as long as there's live animals at the site.
Sarah Jones, 7 News.
Tim Watson joins us now with a look ahead to tonight's sport. And Tim, there's good news for the Saints.
Yes, there is, Mitch. Let's head straight now to Chief Football Reporter Mark Stevens on the Sunshine Coast. And Stevo, a star Saint looks set to return.
Tim, I watched the Saints train today at Maroochydore, and Zach Jones, of course, he'd been missing with a hamstring injury, was fantastic on the track today. Very sharp, 100% lock to take on the Bulldogs. I'll have more details in sport, Tim.
Thanks, Stevo. Also coming up, Mitch, a Lions hardnut sends a warning to the Tigers ahead of their final, and why the Pies are taking baby steps. I'll be back a little bit later.
Thank you, Tim. We'll see you then. Next, Werribee's bid to get Qantas to call it home. It's pushing the airline to land its headquarters in our west, landing jobs and a major economic boost. Also, what was behind a crossbow attack on a young girl at a supermarket. How end-of-year pranks went way too far at an exclusive boys' school. And Tesla's plan for an electric car with 6 times the power for $35,000.
For one night only, it's Ladies' Night! Remember, your careers depend on this.
What career? Let's go, girl. Come on! Man, I feel like
An unmissable, courageous performance. The all-new Monty, Guys and Gals. Sunday at 7 on 7.
Hi, I'm Melina Sarris and welcome to The Buzz in Darwin and the Top End on 7 Darwin. Well, Darwin City Waterfront Retailers Association has a free family fun day and there are lots of activities in the mall this weekend. To tell us more, Darlene Chin. Hello.
Hi, Ali.
So what's on offer?
Oh, the family fun days are on every second Saturday from 9 until 2 p.m. There's activities until 2. There's rides and there's educational activities. There's face painting, children's entertainers like Fairy Jill, the ever-popular Fairy Jill.
The hardest working woman in Darwin.
She's so popular, kids love her, and there's a queue down the street.
I know. I've seen that, and while we're in town, we can also shop till we drop,
Of course. We love you to shop. So many good shops that deserve supporting in the city. If you come around and have a look in all the shops, that everyone has a lot of great things to choose from. I hear people say they shop online and then it doesn't arrive on time. You don't need to be jumping online. You can shop in Darwin. Just support your local shops and you'll be amazed at the amount of variety there is to be found locally.
Well, I'm wearing a dress that I purchased from a local store in Darwin City, and you're right, it's about exploring some of those little boutique shops in and about our arcades in Darwin City and supporting local retailers.
Yes. And of course, I think the more that you support locals, the more we can be bringing in what you really want to.
So how often do these family fun days take place?
The family fun days are every second Saturday on the off-government pay week, so that you've got free things to do when you maybe don't have as much budget.
Sounds like a whole lot of fun. I can't wait to see you in there very soon.
Okay, great. I look forward to seeing you.
There's always lots to do at the waterfront. Check the Waterfront website for the full school holiday program of activities from 10 a.m. till midday, Monday to Friday until October 9. And that's the buzz in Darwin and the top end on 7 Darwin for another week. See you soon.
Come see our range of shower screens, a touch of luxury for any bathroom, mirrors to create the illusion of space, and glass splashbacks that add style and colour. Let our experts help you match the perfect product to your lifestyle. Call or visit Dabsco today.
Worried about the hygiene of your home or workplace? SDS utilises modern fogging technology to help maintain a safe environment for your family and colleagues, helping reduce bacteria, mould and viruses from areas you work and live in. Contact us today.
The flying kangaroo could land in Melbourne's west if an ambitious local council has its way. It wants Qantas to build its new national headquarters at Werribee as the airline looks to cut costs.
I've been to cities that never close down.
From New York to Rome, could Werribee be the final destination for the flying kangaroo?
Qantas were looking for a new home. We thought, hey, perfectly positioned between Avalon Airport, Tullamarine, it's straight off the freeway between Melbourne and Geelong.
It is the fastest growing municipality in the country and has this 400-hectare vacant lot to offer up.
It's a greenfield site. You can build what you want here. I think it's something that would really appeal to him, at least to look at as an alternative to one of the city centres that we usually look to.
The land's owned by the government, which estimates it could house 50,000 new jobs. It was earmarked as a high-tech hub, but those plans fell through.
We've seen through COVID that you really do not have to be located within 5 kilometres of your workplace anymore because, hey, we're all working at home.
Qantas is investigating a number of new office locations right across the country, but a spokesperson for the company insists there are no plans to take its operations offshore. The new Western Sydney Airport and various sites in Brisbane are also being considered. Jodie Lee, 7 News.
Police are hunting a gunman who fired into the front lounge room of a Moorabbin home last week. Detectives believe the man and a woman inside the property were known to the offender.
Pretty risky, pretty brazen, but definitely targeted.
The attacker fled in a dark-coloured Holden station wagon. A man who went on a shooting spree with a bow and arrows has been charged with attempted murder. Benjamin Burke usually shoots arrows in the bush, but instead opened fire in a Queensland supermarket. He shot a teenage girl at an Aldi store before being tackled by witnesses. An exclusive boys' school has threatened to expel any students taking part in a dangerous drunken muck-up day activity outlined in a so-called challenge handbook. It starts innocently with things like wax your armpit or get a mullet, but soon escalates to spit on a homeless man, whack a random, scull a bottle of vodka, snort a line and get arrested. The Shaw Grammar School claims to produce responsible young men. Billionaire Elon Musk has unveiled a plan to make his Tesla electric vehicles more affordable, putting a price tag of $35,000 on a future car. He was speaking at an unusual meeting where shareholders sat in their cars and tooted their horns.
They came, listened.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
And honked in support. Tesla shareholders lapping up billionaire Elon Musk's plans for affordable electric cars.
The battery stuff we're going to talk about is truly revolutionary.
The cheapest Tesla in Australia is the Model S from $74,000. But the company's working on a new battery with 6 times more power and aiming to launch a car priced at half that by 2023. Australia has 13 electric car models, but just 2 under $50,000. The lack of choice? One reason why they make up less than 1% of new car sales. Another, the lack of charging stations.
Australia needs to have, a greater coverage of fast charging infrastructure.
Many overseas governments offer incentives to drivers to buy electric cars.
In the countries where there are coherent policies, they get the market gets good electric vehicles.
Tesla has some lofty expectations to live up to. It recently overtook Toyota to become the world's most valuable car company, despite Toyota selling more than 10 million vehicles last year and Tesla fewer than 500,000.
From an environmental perspective, absolutely doing the right thing, but at the same time, from a performance point of view, they are outstanding.
Gemma Acton, 7 News.
Melina Sarris joins us now, and Melina, we're at the beginning of a spring cold snap.
We are, Mitch. It will be feeling more like winter by the end of the week. We had a taste of it today outside now, sitting on 13 degrees out there. We are on our way to a low of 7 tonight. In the city, the temperature ranged from a low of 10 to a top of 15 degrees. Geelong almost made it to 15, but at times this afternoon in Geelong, it felt more like 6 degrees, thanks to west to southwesterly winds. A strong cold front will arrive at the end of the week, bringing cold air up from Antarctica along with rain, hail and snow. Friday will be our coldest and wettest day. I'll have all of those wintry details after sport, Mitch.
That sounds dreadful. We'll see you then. Thanks, Melina. There's a new way to buy online and buy Australian. It launches tonight and it's backed by sporting legends and business high flyers, and it's designed to boost jobs by keeping our money at home. Also a new job for a controversial former top policeman. Why Britain is tonight facing what's being described as a perilous turning point. And Harry and Meghan weigh in on the US election. Find out what the Duke told Americans.
A 20-year-old Brisbane swimmer failed a doping test and been suspended.
I am going to prove I'm not a drug cheat. I do not take shortcuts.
We'll expose the deepest, darkest part of them.
You are a liability.
Yes, sir.
We're getting shot at!
What if you can't ever swim again?
That's probably the hardest question anyone could ask me.
Will it make them?
I will clear my name.
Or will it break them? This is SAS Australia.
The Good Guys Big Deal Days are on now. This Black Hire dishwasher only $6.99. This Swan security camera pack only $4.19. 50 off this Oppo phone now $4.49. This Dell laptop only $9.99. Big Deal Days only at The Good Guys.
Boating, cabin fishing is BCFing fun.
Hands up for BCFing fun, because it's warming up out there. Paddle out with this junior kayak for $99. That's half price.
BCFing fun. Hey!
One of Darwin's best kept secrets, the Virginia Tavern at the 17 Mile. Discover restaurant quality meals at pub prices. There's even a kids playground. The Virginia Tavern, just off the Stewart Highway.
When you insure your home, car or travel through People's Choice, you can feel confident knowing that luck doesn't matter when you have good insurance. Call 13 11 82 or visit a branch.
Finance your Nissan X-Trail with Nissan Future Value over 48 months and 60,000 kilometres, and the first 6 months of your loan repayments are on us. Plus, get up to 3 years free service.
We help you remember the little things that are important to your family. We help you celebrate their lives the way you want. Territory Funerals, caring for you and your family.
Get your Woolies worth with prices dropped on Western Star butter, 500 gram, now just $6.50 each.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Business insurance is now more important than ever in these times of uncertainty. Holdfast provides comprehensive monthly insurance packages at competitive prices. Claims can be costly, so it's important to have someone on your side. Holdfast Insurance Brokers. Let us do the thinking for you.
Boating, cabin fishing is BCFing fun.
Hands up for BCFing fun, because it's warming up out there. Go big with this 10-person Goliath tent. Save $270. You beauty.
BCFing fun. Hey!
Get your Woolies worth with prices dropped on Western Star butter, 500 gram, now just $6.50 each.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Former Victorian Police Chief Simon Overland has a new job. He's off to Tasmania to become General Manager of the Burnie City Council. A key figure in the Lawyer X scandal, Mr Overland was last year sacked as CEO of the Whittlesea City Council. Some of our best-loved sporting legends have joined forces in a new push to buy Australian. Ricky Ponting and Michael Klim are backing a new all-Australian marketplace, which they hope will one day rival Amazon.
Cricket legend turned winemaker Ricky Ponting is taking a punt on our growing Buy Australian sentiment.
The labelling, the bottling, the caps, everything, it's all done here in Australia, and that's something that we're really proud of.
He and Olympic swim champion turned businessman Michael Klim will sell their wares on a new all-Australian marketplace called Buy Aussie Now, which they hope will rival Amazon and eBay.
Especially in this time where everyone needs every little help they can get, it's a great platform.
More than 5,000 local businesses have registered on the Melbourne site.
Everything from home and living to food and beverage to clothing, footwear, jewellery. So there's a real appetite, I think, for Australians to want to do the right thing. There just hasn't been anywhere for them to go.
Eligible companies must be 100% Australian owned and manufacture all their goods locally. For shoppers, it takes the guesswork out of buying Australian.
Very important at the moment. It's good to support within the country. Creates Australian jobs, manufacturing, good for the economy.
It's expected 20,000 businesses will sign up in the next 12 months, and the site will expand to include the local trades and services sector.
We make great quality stuff, so it's fantastic.
The Buy Aussie Now site goes live in a few moments. Jackie Quist, 7 News.
$3.5 million worth of masks, sanitisers and hand wipes are on their way to Melbourne after being donated to charity. 400 pallets of the goods were collected from a Sydney warehouse before being shipped south. The UK has reached a perilous turning point with Prime Minister Boris Johnson introducing new COVID restrictions in England that could last 6 months. The changes include a curfew on pubs, which industry leaders say will lead to biblical levels of redundancies.
Addressing the nation armed with a new battle plan.
The single greatest weapon we bring to this fight is the common sense of the people themselves.
Stopping short of putting them back into lockdown, but making a U-turn. Just weeks after the British government ordered people to return to the office, they're now being told to work from home. Mask wearing has been extended, pubs and restaurants will be restricted to table service only, and all must shut their doors by 10 p.m.
We've been thrown under the bus because of the basic prejudice that people after 10 o'clock are too drunk to look after themselves because they're not going to go to bed at 10 o'clock. You're just dispersing the problem somewhere else.
In England, it's illegal to meet in a group of more than 6. Scotland has gone even further, banning visiting people's homes. Across the UK, cases are rising, almost 5,000 confirmed in the past 24 hours.
We warned the Prime Minister months ago that testing needed to be fixed by the autumn, but the government didn't listen.
We have to acknowledge that this is a great and freedom-loving country.
With the virus expected to spread faster in autumn and winter, these measures could be in place for the next 6 months. There'll be a greater police presence to enforce the rules, heftier fines for breaking them, and the restrictions could get tougher.
The tragic reality of having COVID is that your mild cough can be someone else's death knell.
In London, Sarah Greenhalgh, 7 News.
A founding member of the Four Seasons, Tommy DeVito, has passed away. The band became Rock and Roll Hall of Famers and were immortalised in the musical Jersey Boys. The 92-year-old died of complications from coronavirus. Other band members, Frankie Valli and Bob Gaudio, say he'll be missed by all who loved him. With their newfound freedom and against royal protocol, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have implored Americans to vote. In a rare TV appearance, Harry and Meghan called for compassion over division.
on a park bench on primetime TV.
Congratulations to this year's transformative leaders.
The Duke and Duchess appear on a program revealing Time's 100 most influential people.
We thank you and celebrate you tonight.
Alumni of the list in their 2-minute time slot. Harry and Meghan start by spotlighting the power of social media.
It can train us to be kind, or it can train us to be cruel.
Calling out those who use the internet to foster division.
It's time to not only reflect, but act.
Every 4 years, we are told the same thing, that this is the most important election of our lifetime. But this one is. When we vote, our values are put into action and our voices are heard.
The famous pair increasingly vocal since stepping down as senior royals and moving to the States.
Many of you may not know that I haven't been able to vote in the UK my entire life. It's vital that we reject hate speech, misinformation and online negativity.
Taking indirect aim at President Trump, who's again on Time's list of influence. Markle's been an overt critic for years.
Of course, Trump is divisive, and with as misogynistic as Trump is and so vocal about it.
Right. At this election, the Duchess is set to make history, the first British royal family member to publicly exercise their right to vote.
We are incredibly proud to join you in this historic moment in time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Hartley, 7 News.
Australia has struck a new vaccine deal. Details are coming up. Also, scientists have unlocked new COVID secrets. Ahead, why the long-term effects could be more worrying than we thought. Saved with seconds to spare, a wheelchair-bound man rescued from his burning car. Cold reality for Arctic explorers as an iceberg climb takes a turn. And Bindi's gender reveal complete with a special guest.
Filling in for Sam Payne, who sadly has tested positive
to COVID.
No chafing.
You never know who will be propping up the front bar.
Just want to ask you about your premiership medal.
Yes, some of those Bulldogs until me 40.
And that's the best thing about Zoom meeting.
The front bar, Thursday 8:30 on 7.
nthomeimprovements.com.au for property maintenance and renovation. 15 years experience of interior and exterior painting. Professional and friendly service from a local family business. nthomeimprovements.com.au.
I love the Ross Faulkner One Touch, the ultimate training aid to develop the fundamentals of my game. Available at any level, men's, women's or juniors. Train anywhere, anytime. Get your One Touch now at rossfaulkner.com.
GTNT have employed over 6,500 apprentices across the Northern Territory. For 30 years, we have been changing the lives of Territorians through apprenticeships, scholarships and community programs. GTNT, your people, your place, your time.
Battery World keeps you switched on.
If your car battery ever lets you down, call this number, it won't. 13 17 60. Your local Battery World 24-hour roadside battery assistance. Phone 13 17 60.
At Redco, we've got one of Australia's largest fleets of transport equipment, from prime movers and trailers to rigid tracks, mine-spec utes and buses. Late model and modern, featuring the latest safety equipment available Australia-wide. So give us a call and we'll exceed your expectations.
Who's my podcast for? It's for sports fans, lovers of good stories and anyone who wants to be inspired and motivated to do their best. Search the Howie Games podcast. It's free on Podcast One Australia.
Podcast One. Feel that. Filthy grout lines are one clue. Do your hard floors need an expert deep clean? Abbott Cleaning Service strip, machine, scrub and buff. The results are so easy to see and feel. Abbott Cleaning Service. We leave you floored.
Take your business to the next level through streamlined technology and communication. Emerge IT Solutions provide total on-site and cloud ICT services for all your business requirements. Transition your business for the future today and emerge above the rest.
Is your home crim safe? The next few months are NT's highest home break-in periods. Protect your property with CrimSafe, the strongest security screen on the market. Be CrimSafe. Call Dabsco now.
The best performing oils under the one roof at Super Cheap Auto.
Australia has struck a new deal to secure even more COVID-19 vaccines. We've signed up to the COVAX agreement, spearheaded by the World Health Organization, which provides access to vaccine trials around the world.
It gives additional security and certainty, both for Australia but also for the world. So the reason why it's very important, we want to have as many eggs in the basket as possible.
The agreement would also secure enough doses for up to 50% of the population. Australian researchers have uncovered a worrying link between COVID-19 and Parkinson's disease. Scientists say even those who think they've beaten the virus may still be at risk.
For 6 months, Richard Monsieur has been battling COVID-19. Now, after 77 days in intensive care, he's finally on the mend.
Another month or so and I should be much better.
But not out of the woods. New research suggests coronavirus survivors are at greater risk of developing Parkinson's disease.
There's increasing evidence that COVID-19 is actually getting into the brain.
It dulls the sense of smell by causing inflammation of the olfactory bulb at the underside of the brain and possibly other areas.
We get what seems like an overreaction of the brain.
Just 5 years after the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, there was a 2 to 3-fold increase in incidents of Parkinson's. While it's too early to know how many coronavirus survivors will go on to develop Parkinson's, medical experts warn that with 30 million people affected by the virus worldwide, the impact could be significant.
The key thing here is if we're prepared, and we're prepared to take action, then there's nothing to be scared of.
A key symptom of both illnesses is a loss of taste and smell. The Florey Institute is calling for widespread smell test screening to pick up early signs of Parkinson's, while survivors of COVID-19 are being told to monitor their ongoing symptoms. Amelia Brace, 7 News.
Los Angeles police, with just seconds to spare, have saved a disabled man trapped in his car just before it burst into flames. With the man's wheelchair in the back of the car, he couldn't escape. The officers pulled him out and carried him away from the danger. Now, here's a cheeky devil that's living up to her name. V, the star attraction at a Sunshine Coast zoo, has escaped her enclosure after it was damaged by a fallen tree. It sparked a search in nearby bushland. Keepers are hopeful she'll soon be reunited with her grandmother, Winnie. 2 ice climbers have survived a frigid swim when their Arctic adventure took a dangerous turn. The pair say their decision to scale the iceberg probably wasn't one of the best they've made. Sport is next with Tim Watson. And Tim, it's been moving day for the AFL industry.
Mitch, it's been a busy day. We've had delistings, re-signings and high-profile assistant coaches being poached by rival clubs. Plus, one of the Saints' best fails to train as another star suffers a scare. A Lions hard nut sends a warning to the Tigers ahead of their final. Baby steps for the Magpies as they prepare for their do-or-die final against the Eagles. And Steve Smith stars on a record night in the Indian Premier League.
There have been some amazing names that have captivated our nation.
And now there are more names that will live in the history books.
This summer, you can witness a new era of greatness.
The greatest innings we've seen in history.
You haven't seen the game till you see this team play it. It all begins with the Trans-Tasman blockbuster. Saturday on 7.
SBA, specialists in novated leasing for government, corporate and the not-for-profit sectors. With over 18 years in the industry and a large panel of lenders, our clients get the best solution for their situation. salpacoz.com.au.
Experience the Dead Sea at Friendly Pool and Spa Care. Mineral Swim combines 100% natural Dead Sea minerals with ozone to oxygen water purification and natural skincare to create a therapeutic, healthy and crystal clear swimming experience. Friendly Pool and Spa Care, Coconut Grove.
Trust, experience, local knowledge. Your property sale or purchase isn't just about the paperwork. Sherpig Conveyancing, a family business providing advice delivered electronically from a team of experienced locals. Sherpig Conveyancing, Coconut Grove and Palmerston.
Chemist Warehouse is adding a big smile to your face with the Swiss Spring Frenzy sale. All Swiss vitamins, half price. Swiss skincare products, half price. So stock up on half price Swiss at Chemist Warehouse.
The MacArthur River Mine, producing minerals for products we use every day. Creating job opportunities, developing lifelong skills. Remote regions, supporting community projects. Investing in locals, nurturing future generations. How are they all connected? Through one natural resources company, Glencore. Discover how we're connecting possibilities every day.
2020 is full of twists and turns, but with renowned Mitsubishi reliability, you'll always know the road ahead. Score 7 years warranty and 3 years free servicing. That's more time to have the time of your life.
The Buff Club, your favourite watering hole, is back with the best entertainment, including trivia, bingo and Friday night raffles. Plus a brand new menu with tasty specials every day. Support the club that supports you. Come on down, have a good time and relax at the Buff Club.
Listen up, all you young, deadly free mob.
No matter if you're hooking up
or thinking about starting a family.
One way to stay young,
deadly,
and free
is to have at least one STI test a year.
Being free from STIs is good for all of us.
For your partners,
for pregnant mothers,
and for our community.
Get tested today.
For more information, visit the Young, Deadly and Free website.
Welcome back. St Kilda has stepped up preparations for its first final in 9 years. Chief Football reporter Mark Stevens joins us from Queensland. And Stevo, there were some notable absentees though on the track today.
Tim, 3 players from St Kilda's best 22 last week sat it out, headed by Jack Steele, a superstar who's set to be named All-Australian tomorrow night. He looked on from the sidelines. Certainly a surprise. The Saints adamant tonight he's only having a rest and will train in the main session on Friday, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Jack Loney still has a sore knee, didn't train. Josh Battle also missed training. Loney, I think, in real doubt for the final. Young gun Nick Caulfield also left the track and iced his ankle. The Saints adamant there's no major concern there. Zach Jones is the good news. He looked great. He'll return from the hamstring injury against the Dogs. Now, the Saints, they're up at 4:30 a.m. on Monday. A bit of a spiritual goal-setting experience down at Sunshine Beach, just out of Noosa. A real reset before the finals. And Jack Billings, he can't wait for the opportunity.
Every year, this time of year in September, I've been on break and my off-season and sort of, like you said, just watched on and, It's been challenging, and this is why we play footy, to play finals, but also, have success as a club and as a team, and that's all I've ever wanted.
Now, Collingwood low-key again today up here on the Sunshine Coast. Jordan Roughhead moving okay in the hub after that ankle scare last week. He's certainly good to go for the trip to Perth. Adam Treloar, well, he was on family duties. The Pies, they're expected to have a light session only inside the hub tomorrow, so no official sessions to come. They fly out for Perth on Friday morning. 32 players are heading west. Tim, Jaden Stevenson certainly under the pump for his spot. Back to you.
Thanks, Stevo. Geelong has taken a leaf out of Richmond's book ahead of the final series. Let's go to Tom Brown now on the Gold Coast with the Cats. And Tom, players' families are moving out.
Tim, Jack Riewoldt interestingly flagged this last night. The Cats, a lot of their families have moved into the Royal Pines Hub today, with most of the players and most of the footy staff staying at their high performance centre at Southport. It's an arrangement similar to what Richmond's been doing, although Riewoldt himself is with his family, I think, at Royal Pines. So that's what's happened today on the Geelong front. They also trained very strongly. Ablett and Selwood look particularly good. Reece Stanley also set and fit to return.
Finals are different, but it counts for a little bit. Our guys will take a lot of confidence out of that performance. Wasn't too long ago. We played some really good footy, so no doubt the coaches will analyse that again and our players will be feeling really confident.
Tim, the competition committee, the AFL's competition committee, met this morning. 16-minute quarters, they will not take place next year. They'll be longer. There's obviously a debate on now whether it should be 18 minutes, for example, or 20 minutes. There's also support for same-day flying for teams and also broad support for 4-day breaks. And on the trade front tonight, Steve, I mentioned it's hotting up. Zach Merritt, he's not going anywhere from an Essendon perspective. I was assured that from very well-placed sources today. As for Joe Daniher, Essendon hasn't given up on retaining Joe Daniher. I think Brisbane is leading the race, although they assure me that Daniher hasn't been for a medical and hasn't visited the club. That would be a breach at this stage of COVID protocols. And just further to my report on Ben Brown last Friday night, there was a commitment between Brown and North to mutually explore options. Brown's now been informed that he should seek another club. So it'll be interesting to see if any clubs like Collingwood that need a forward could chance their luck on Brown, who was very good last year, Tim.
He was. Thanks, Tom. Still on football, and the Brisbane Lions have warned Richmond, target Lockie Neale at your own peril. Lions hard nut Mitch Robinson says if the Tigers attempt to bully the Brownlow medal favourite in Friday week's qualifying final, Brisbane will fight fire with fire.
We've got a lot of blokes in there throwing their weight around trying to support Lockie, but he's shown that he can take a tag and take it well. So if they go after him next weekend, that's great.
Last time they met, Brisbane kicked a woeful 4 goals, 17 behinds.
Boys are working, trying to improve their goal kicking. Playing in the final is a big moment, so you have to try and make the most of those big moments.
Meanwhile, the Demons have delisted the Wagner brothers as well as Kyle Dunkley. Melbourne Storm have been blasted for resting 11 of its stars ahead of Sunday's final round clash against the Dragons. Faced with a road trip to Sydney, a 6-day turnaround and having locked away second spot, Craig Bellamy has given some of his biggest stars the week off.
It's not ideal for the competition to have so many players out, but we're only resting probably 5 of those 11 players. 6 of them have actually got niggling injuries.
Munster gets a rest along with Cameron Smith and Josh Adokar. In his first match since missing the one-day series against England with concussion, Steve Smith starred in the Indian Premier League on a record-equalling night which saw 33 sixes. The Aussie run machine smashed a match-winning 69 off 47 balls in the Rajasthan Royal 16-run win over the Chennai Super Kings.
I thought our whole batting group did well. The few up top and and Joffa at the back end was absolutely amazing.
World number 1 T20 batter Beth Mooney says the Aussies are aiming to become the greatest cricket team of all time after their World Cup win.
We're obviously ranked the number 1 team in the world, and we have big ambitions to stay there for as long as possible and be one of the greatest teams that's ever played.
The Aussies face New Zealand in a T20 clash on Saturday in Brisbane, live on 7. And not even a 30-point triple-double from Lakers superstar LeBron James could stop the Denver Nuggets from winning Game 3 of the NBA Western Conference Finals. Denver's Jamal Murray top scored for the Nuggets with 28 in the 8-point win.
How about Murray? Oh, just pours it in! Oh, Jamal Murray with an exclamation point.
The Lakers lead the series 2-1. Mitch, stay with the shorter quarters or go back to the normal time for the finals, do you think?
That's a good question. I'd go back to the normal time.
I knew
Stretch
you would.
it out as long
You're
as I
such
can.
a traditionalist, you are.
Thank you very much indeed, Tim.
That's what I love about you.
Now let's see what's coming up on Sunrise in the morning.
Thanks, Mitch. When you wake up, the government incentives and the bargain opportunities to buy a new home in Melbourne.
The expert guide tomorrow on Sunrise, but right now, back to you.
Thank you, Koshi and Sam. Melina Sarris is next with the forecast. Melina, it's turning wintry at the end of the week.
It is, Mitch. Friday could be the city's coldest day this late in spring since 2002. I'll have all those details next.
Hello, tonight on the latest from 7 News, the restriction rollbacks and the easing of borders, all the changes you need to know about. Star laws, can Russia really lay claim to a planet? A space lawyer explains. And we'll keep you across every new development throughout the night on the latest from 7 News, 10:50.
You don't have to be alone.
It would mean the end of your career and my marriage.
I knew that if I'd have to choose, I would lose you. And I couldn't.
The
greatest week of home and away in years.
I love you, Sig.
This week at 7.
It's a feeling I get when I come to school. I just know I belong here.
An excellent education in a supportive environment. St Mary's Catholic Primary School, Darwin City.
If you're like me and you're tired of those aches and pains and restless nights, why don't you transform your old mattress?
Time to get the all-new Super Sleeper Pro, the world's most comfortable mattress topper that attaches to any bed just like a fitted sheet. It's the only mattress topper that has 3 waves of cushioning support under the heaviest parts of your body. And it's so easy. Just roll it onto your bed and the 10 centimetres of luxurious soft remedial memory foam instantly makes your old mattress like new. Forget uncomfortable springs. Super Sleeper's 3 layers of soft triple-density memory foam cradles your whole body for the best night's sleep you've ever had.
It's as easy as putting a fitted sheet on your mattress, so within seconds you've transformed your bed to a really luxurious experience. I'm getting the best night's sleep I've ever had.
It gives plenty of support and it's firm, but at the same time it's got a lovely cushioning effect. It's lovely.
If you're tired of partner disturbance, watch this. You can see with Super Sleeper, there's no movement and the wine doesn't spill. The secret is in the 3-layer comfort pad technology, creating a seamless feel of comfort and support, while the unique tri-line positioning system cushions and controls your shoulders, hips and knees to give you a better night's sleep. Watch as the Super Sleeper's remedial memory foam cushions and supports even the lumpiest mattress. It even passes the raw egg test. Simply unzip the removable bamboo cover and you can pop it in the wash so your bed stays clean and hygienic all year round. Don't spend thousands of dollars getting a new mattress. Call 0293874100. Get to supersleeperpro.com.au and we'll give you not 1 but 2 of the best-selling adjustable memory foam pillows that perfectly mould to your neck, back and shoulders and helps to relieve pressure from muscles and joints. Valued at $140, absolutely free, and a 120-night sleep guarantee. Plus, free postage anywhere in Australia. Get your Super Sleeper Pro 2 memory pillows plus free postage. Get to supersleeperpro.com.au and don't miss out.
The difference in how I wake up in the morning and how I get out of bed is incredible.
We are Catholic Education in the Northern Territory, a network of schools across Darwin, Palmerston, Pompidou, Katherine and Alice Springs.
And a couple more in between.
With early learning centres, then transition right through to secondary.
Catholic Education schools are places of faith, learning and leadership.
Everyone is welcome and everyone belongs.
We have faith in their future.
Join us in 2021. Learn more online or check us out on social media.
This is my IGA at Zircoli. Close to Palmerston, easy to get to and easy parking. Fast and friendly service, great tradies lunches. Zircoli IGA, so much more than a corner store.
Hello again. We are at the beginning of a spring cold snap and that'll bring chilly temperatures, rain, hail and snow. We had a little taste of it today with showers and a top of 15 degrees. Outside now sitting on just 12. We have had a fiery sunset this evening. This is what it looked like from Mooroolbark and this is Port Melbourne tonight. Scattered showers delivered around 4 millimetres to Coldstream and around 3 millimetres to Mount Dandenong. Those showers continued across the state and totals were mostly below 5 millimetres. It has been cool and cloudy. Temperatures have been a couple of degrees below the September average. It was 16 in Bendigo, just 12 at Ballarat, 15 at Terralgan. Taking a look at the satellite, a low to our south is controlling a series of troughs and fronts, while a strong cold front will come up from the Southern Ocean and that front will bring rain, hail, snow down to low levels and wintry temperatures on Thursday and Friday. A cold air mass is approaching which originated over waters near Antarctica and while it's not uncommon for air this cold to reach Victoria during winter, it is unusual for it to happen this late in spring. Around the nation for tomorrow, sunny with a top of 30 degrees in Brisbane, sunny in Sydney, top of of 21. Showers in Adelaide, 15 degrees, while Perth is windy with a possible late storm. But in Victoria, we'll see isolated showers across southern and mountain districts, clearing East Gippsland during the day. But we will see this rain increasing over the west, which will extend across the state at night. It will be cold enough for snow above 900 metres. We'll have moderate to fresh westerly winds turning northwesterly in the afternoon. Top of just 10 for Ballarat, 13 degrees in Bendigo, 14 there at Terralgan. Closer in, it'll be cloudy over the suburbs and it should stay dry throughout the day, but rain will move in at night and we could see hail about the nearby hills. Chilly overnight, down to 3 in Yarra Glen and Mount Dandenong, and our top temperatures are mostly between 14 and 15 degrees. In the city tomorrow, it'll be cloudy but should stay dry for most of the day with rain expected at night. 7 is our low before a top of 15 degrees. Friday will be our wettest and coldest day. We are expecting up to 20 millimetres of rain, local hail and isolated thunderstorms. If the city only reaches 12 degrees, it will be the coldest day this late in spring since 2002. Those showers will ease on Saturday morning, but staying cold, a top of 13. A shower or two in the morning on Sunday, 14 degrees. Mostly sunny on Monday, 15. And we thaw out on Tuesday with a top of 21 degrees, 21 again on Wednesday with a shower or two, but tomorrow mostly dry before rain at night, top of 15, Mitch.
30 in Brisbane tomorrow. They'll be pretty happy in that AFL hub, won't they?
They will be. I know where I'd rather be.
Yeah, exactly, with what's coming up for us. Indeed. Thank you, Melina. Finally tonight, Bindi Irwin has revealed the gender of her and husband Chandler Powell's first child, and it's a girl. The wildlife warrior posted this photo online overnight. The caption, "Our beautiful daughter is now about the same size as a hatchling Aldabra tortoise," bringing nature into it. Bindi's brother Robert commenting, "I can't wait to meet my niece. The little girl is due next year." And that's the way it is this Wednesday, the 23rd of September. Thanks for your company. For now, from the 7 News team, good night.